Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Welcome in to Crime Time Buzz. I appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me. I guess so. I did get a late slip this time, right? Interesting. I popped in a minute or two late, and I apologize, and I appreciate you all waiting for me. I know your time is valuable as well. Please hit that thumbs up on your way up. We are going to be discussing the Decker children today. Olivia, Evelyn, and Peyton. And we want to remember that that's why we're here today is these three young ladies, little girls, not young ladies, these three little girls lost their lives and they believe it to be at the hands of the father who is wanted now. He's a fugitive and on the run and has been since May 30th. The search began in Washington. They did have a memorial for the girls. It was lovely. It was beautiful. It was heart-wrenching. And I have saved for the end, we're going to listen to the mother's words at the end of this live. So, hi, Teresa. Hello, everyone. I know you all have a bazillion true crime questions right now. Um, you're emailing them. I'm doing my best to get back to you. I know there's been a lot going on. Yes, I intend to cover Jack and Lily this week. I certainly do. Thank you for asking. And yes, I'm trying to get the second live for summer. One thing I did want to explain, we had talked about in our last Unplugged, by the way, Unplugged's tomorrow. We had talked about in our last Unplugged watching Reverend Donna Serafini, because her visions, what comes to her, many of us believe in. She was, hi, Nicey Marie. She was, we've all been just working around the clock, haven't we, Nicey? It's crazy. Are you as tired as I am? So, but I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry, you guys. We are, these little girls need to be honored. I know we have a lot going on. I know we're going to cover Jack and Lily. Yes, summer's second show. I promised you I'd bring forth Grandis, Rose Bly's story, and there was one other individual you wanted me to bring forth. I have it all written down. And also I have a statement from a PI recently who believes in the Summer Wells case, two brothers know where Summer is. He posted on X. Now, he did clarify he doesn't mean Summer's brothers, okay? But he said, you and your brother tell us where she is. Okay? So things might be moving for Summer. And I hope they are. I hope every child deserves to have when they're missing and they're not in their beds and we don't know where they are and their families are suffering and looking. They all deserve a little attention. So we're getting to Summer's second show. Kyron's listed for the next 7 days. Our Oregon witness, I'm bringing her in, but I don't know when, because we'll explain why. She feels like she might be being watched a little bit. Okay, so we'll bring her in when the time is right. With Silvers, he was going to come too. He's working a lot of hours, so I don't know when that will be, but we're going to get Kyron Horman in this week, and a lot, I hope, is going to happen with Kyron's case. And if you're not familiar with it, do what you did for Summer, jump in, because we started with Summer pretty much right in the beginning, explaining a little bit. Oh, Jose was the other one. And I'm going to do another one, which will take you even further. And then we'll just keep going. And I'm going to add Kyron in this week because there is, things that hopefully will be happening in his case. Thank you all for being here. Hit that thumbs up. Today we are here to talk about Evelyn, Olivia, and Peyton Decker. They were picked up by their father for his visitation. He did not return with them and at 8 p.m., their mother called and reported them missing. And a few days later, they were found in Leavenworth, Washington. near a campground, and they were unalived. Now, at that time, they had found BLOOD in the truck. They were near their father's truck in the vicinity at a campground. I had the name of the campground, and I have it in here. And they originally weren't sure on the DNA. Well, the DNA came back and it is indeed it matches Travis Decker, their father. So they now, what they thought to be true and confirmed is they are most likely looking for one suspect, one person, and that is their father, Travis Decker. Travis is a former Army Ranger. He has survival skills. They believe he was going up it through Washington. He is an avid hitchhiker. This is something I didn't know that is new. Okay. This is something I didn't know that is new. He is an avid hitchhiker. So they are telling people Washington, Idaho, where the manhunt has stretched to, and I'll explain why in a second, not to pick up any hitchhikers. They do now believe, since the July 5th tip of the family believing they saw Travis in Idaho near the Bear Creek station of Sawtooth National Park, they do believe he is armed now. Before they told us they weren't sure, act like he is, do not approach, but now the update is they do believe he is armed. Okay. Of course, we're going to hear a little bit from Sheriff Morrison today, which, we enjoy listening to him. He's respectful. He's to the point. He's on top of it. He's always there for the girls, always mentions the girls and why we're here. And I think that is a beautiful thing. And Jen has looked into him, ladies. She just put in chat, he's married with 3 kids. So move on. Too bad Raymond's not here to hear this, right? And what is our sweet All I Need Is Jesus saying? Because she is a sweetie. Oh, I'm heartbroken for the people in Texas too. Tragedy. We have to endure and battle a lot in life. But one thing I learned, living on the ocean, right on the beach, and being in Harvey, battling Mother Nature is something else. It is something else. And it's sad what's going on. I saw a picture and I really had to turn it off of people floating down the street and stuff. And I remember that when I got back to my island and stuff after Harvey, people were canoeing and kayaking down the roads. And it just brought back a feeling I didn't want to bring back into me. So for anyone in the floods, near the floods, I know one of you reached out and has a family member and 2 children. Their 2 children are missing. I'd like to hear an update. If you have one, have you located your family? So we are thinking about all of you here at Crime Time Buzz. We are reflecting. We are hoping, praying the best outcome for all of you who are still in flux. It's just terrible. And all I need is Jesus. You are so sweet that you have a birthday coming up and your heart is breaking and you're thinking of them. You're just a sweetie. All of you are. It's just a great, great community. Gypsy, yeah. Well, she's still coming on. Okay. She's still going to come on. We just need to always make sure everyone's, safe. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, you can't win over Mother Nature. No, it's something to be reckoned with. Absolutely. Prayers for Texas, thought for Texas. I've been following it. Hi, Maria. Hi, everyone here. Moz, I appreciate you being here again today, or again for the second time today. Don't miss Unplug tomorrow. We are going to do our trivia time. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing I want to say is there has been a sighting, they believe, of family camping. And I want to show you the area and how far they believe Travis has gotten. Let me escape. Double click it and we'll get the whole thing. Okay. Are you with me? Perfect. So from where he began, and I just put in Wenatchee, I didn't put in, I guess I should have put in Leavenworth, right? The campsite. But he is, excuse me, they believe he was sighted in Sawtooth National Forest. I want to give you a little reference as to where that is. So if you're familiar with Boise, here is Boise, okay? And here is the Sawtooth National Forest. This is Boise. Now, it's saying he is about 524 miles from what, let me go ahead and put in, I want to put in Leavenworth instead. Excuse me. Let's see where he is. I'd rather it be accurate for us. Okay, 561 miles from where he was, which they were, law enforcement was asked, do you think he walked there? And that is when it came up that they are, oh, that's cool. That's where it came up that they think he may be hitchhiking because he's an avid hitchhiker and no one is to pick up a hitchhiker. So what happened is in this area down here, Sawtooth National Forest, I'll share it with you, that area as well. Sawtooth National Forest here. Okay. There you go. There was a family camping on July 5th. They submitted a tip that they thought they had possibly seen Travis Decker, the father of Evelyn, Olivia, and Peyton Decker, who were unalived. And he is the one they believe did it. The DNA came back from his truck. It is only him. He is on the run. The girls were found in a very horrid state with plastic BAGs over their heads and zip ties. So it was a terrible scene, terrible, terrible scene to come upon. These people think they saw him that far away in Idaho. It was determined that they said that he had overgrown beard and mustache, a long ponytail, black earrings, the gauges in his ears, a black mesh hat on, was between 5'8" and 5'10". We'll have to look at the poster and see how tall he is. Cream t-shirt, black shorts, black JanSport backpack. Boy, they were specific. And black Garmin style watch. And I believe they said his shoes were either Vans or something else. Now, the U.S. Marshals are out looking for him, and they have offered a $20,000 reward that leads to his arrest. This family saw him near the Bear Creek Transfer Station, which is about 32 miles away from the nearest town and an hour from Fairfield. Okay, let me show you where Fairfield is. Okay, what I'd rather show you is I'm going to show you now Sawtooth to Fairfield, okay? So you know where the closest town is that he could have been working to. Okay, so there we go. They said 13 minutes, but it's about 8 miles to the closest town. It is not 32. So he is in this area. He is in the area. You can see that it's quite a terrain, right? It's quite a terrain. They said it is rugged, it is mountainous, as you can see, water, trees. They're in there right now with drones. They are in there right now with drones. Yes. I agree. It's surprising he's still with us. And I want to see something all I need put in there. Jay, there's a video of the adult camp leaders all singing hymns while they floating down to keep the youngest children calm. They went out praising God. Oh my gosh. That is something. All I need, that is just so sad. What a heartbreaking tragedy. You don't think they're going to catch him anytime soon? Gypsy, you think he's just going to keep moving? He's got those survival skills. He was former ranger. I want to former ranger, right? So I don't know. I just don't know what we're going to, how long it's going to take. Now there was a People magazine article in the beginning of June that feels someone had said, and I think it was the lady's lawyer, I'll look at it for us, said that they thought he had unalived himself already. But now there's a sighting just a few days ago, right? Okay. Bear Creek Transfer Camp that's what's located 32 miles north of Fairfield. So although Sawtooth was just a few, miles from Fairfield, the Bear Creek Transfer Station where he was spotted is 32 miles north of Fairfield. Travel over Flex Summit on the road, number 0.012, once at the summer home area, turn onto the road, number 0.079, and continue north past the Methodist Church Camp, then turn left onto road number 889 and look for the entrance sign. The transfer camp offers 6 campsites with picnic tables and free rings, along with corrals and mangers, with loading ramps and stock water available 150 yards to the north at Bear Creek. There is 1 vault toilet restroom available. So it doesn't sound like it's something that's, on the way. You're treading to it, correct? Would you agree with that statement? From that description, it sounds like, you know where you're going if you're going there, right? And I would like us to listen to the update. This is credit to Como News. Let me get our banner out for fair use. This is credit to Como News. So what I was saying is we were going to do All I Need Is Jesus. I'm glad you're in here. We had talked about doing the show with Reverend Donna regarding Summer, Sebastian, and her theory on Brian Kohlberger. And I think that would have been really, really cool. However, because of what is going on with Summer and Sebastian right now, possibly having been teed, they don't have sightings, but the intelligence suggests, and they're in Mexico, tips are leading us to Mexico. I kind of felt like it was in bad taste right now, just while this is going on, to show the theories of the unalivings. Okay. So what I will do is I will show her theory on Brian's, if you all are interested, sometime this week or next. Okay. But we will be there July 25th, I think it is, for his sentence, till July 23rd for his sentencing. So I could do it right before that. But I just want to wait while this we haven't had a lot of movement in Summer's case, and I want it to keep getting momentum. And I feel I don't want to do anything that might squash momentum or deflate people's hopes, because there is hope. We've never had proof of death, so I always have hope till we have that. So I just wanted to explain to you, I didn't forget you, and I want to do it. So I'm thinking we say Brian's, the Reverend's theory of what Brian did right before the sentencing. I'll come on earlier. And then we can do Summer and Sebastian's later on at a more appropriate time. Teresa says, if he went to Mexico, do you think they will give him up if spotted? Well, I know that they said do not approach. So I don't think if one of us spotted him, they'd give him up. Um, they said don't approach and, call the consulate and the American embassies and stuff. So I don't think they would just easily hand him over. Okay? I don't. However, I have no idea, Teresa, how this works. I don't. I do know that, like I said, oh, that's right. Silver sent that to me last night. Hold on, I'll look at that. All I do know is that I want to make sure. Yes, I'll share that too. There's no update. No update, my friends. But I will tell you, it was in Springfield, Tennessee. Let me get you a Google map real quick. Okay. And I'm glad you said that because he had sent that to me. So it's not far. It says 39 minutes, but why are we not getting it to show up here? Oh, there we go. Here you go. It is not far at all, but that doesn't mean anything. I haven't read the details, so I will have to. But yeah, Silver sent that to me the other day. So yes, there has been, and it looks like it's about 23 miles from Hendersonville. Okay. And I don't know the details, but I will go ahead and put out a video on that tonight. Okay. So we all know we're looking for that. So later on tonight, look for a video on that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Lisa Ann. I appreciate that. So here's what I can tell you. I know that the Hiltons, the Marriotts all over Mexico are posting Sebastian's image. I know that all over Mexico, they're looking for him. All over Mexico, there's high alerts everywhere for Sebastian. Springfield, Tennessee, Gypsy. So, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know who has him. I don't know who took him. If we're dealing with Mexican cartel, I live in Arizona. Some of our police officers don't even like to go into the desert because the cartel runs in our deserts. I think that was the issue for Daniel Robinson, why the police weren't so also helpful, the Buckeye police, because they didn't want to go into the desert over and over and deep in the desert to search. Okay. So if it's a cartel thing, hi, Jamie Lynn. Good to see you. If it's a cartel thing, I don't know how they work. I just know out here, our Buckeye police, they're wary of them. Okay. So I don't know what would happen. Now, I would tell you this. I would feel more confident. I would feel confident at night. People going up against them? Yes. FBI and U.S. Marshals? Yes. So I think that, if they are, now, there has not been a sighting of Sebastian or Summer in Mexico, but with a lot of leads and tips have been placing Sebastian in Mexico. And I brought up in my live earlier today, that I received a comment yesterday that a woman submitted it to the tip lines when it occurred, but never heard anything back or whatever. So she was telling me on my comment that she believes she saw Sebastian in October in the Spokane, Washington airport, arriving on an 11 a.m. flight, traveling with a woman. Now, I have asked her, what did the woman look like? Because in my mind, I have a theory. The Ford's Pond relatives is my theory. And I know who that is now in our heads. We think we figured out who it is. And I think possibly, but anyway, I looked up flights that come in to Spokane around 11 a.m. and they are from Seattle, coming from, guess where? Alaska. So he could have been arriving, if that was Sebastian, he could have been arriving from Alaska or Seattle. But I sent that information in immediately. As soon as I got the tip, I sent it in. I called it in to National Center for Missing. Did I call that one in? Yes. And yes, got a call in there. And then, the person just, what I'm asking is anything you may have sent in the first 6 months, go back and revisit that and send it to me or to at night or to anyone. You're in between Seattle and Spokane, Prayer Warrior? Well, in October, apparently, someone believes they saw him. Now, again, if you think you see Sebastian, please dial 911 from the location, because then they can dispatch to the location, lock it down, check cameras, and get started. Then you can call the tip lines and the police and take a photo. But please, we've had so many sightings, but if we can get 911 right there, we will know if it indeed was a sighting at that time. So hi, Lisa, if we can please call 911 if you think you see Sebastian or Summer or any child. Oh, yes, I have wonderful mods. And mods, I want to apologize what occurred earlier in the chat. I was trying to take care of it for you so you wouldn't have to. It was an uncomfortable situation, being that it was someone who we usually have in here. So, I'm sorry, and thank you for handling it. And I handled it, and I apologize that occurred. So, we are going to keep going on about the Decker sisters. I do want to keep focused on that. I will answer questions as I come back. Some of you in the bushes, hello. Thank all of you in the bushes, not just some of you. Thank you for being here. We are talking about the manhunt for Travis Decker. And welcome to the family, Proteome. Welcome in. We'll see you at Saturday's reunion. Okay. So he has gone he has gone quite a bit. We're on the wrong one now. Hold on. We are on the wrong one now. He has gone pretty far. Hold on, I'm trying to get back to my thing. He has gone pretty far, as you can tell. And they think since he's an avid hitchhiker, he may have hitchhiked. So do not pick anyone up, Prayer Warrior. You're in that area. Don't pick up anyone. It's good rule not to pick up hitchhikers in this day and age anyway. I bet you hope he's in Idaho now, away from you, right? You've been worrying about that for 5 weeks. You have 3 truck stops in your town. Well, that is historically, they are a huge teeing area. Hi, Laura Arnold. Well, we love you back. Good to see you. Okay. That's okay, Prayer Warrior. We can, if you get me the names and email me the names of the truck stops, I can email them flyers. I'd be happy to. I hope they get Decker too. Let's keep going. Let's listen to Sheriff Morrison. He is giving an update. This is a few days ago. Let me find out exactly when it was. Credit to Como News, and it was, well, it'll tell us. It was, I don't know, a few days ago, my friends.
Great. And I know the drill. Feel free to look at me, not the camera. And first, can you please say and spell your first and last name?
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison, Morrison. First will be Mike.
Thank you. How are you feeling about this case as we enter the second month of the search for Travis Decker?
Encouraged on the investigative side, frustrated on the search side, which I'm sure majority of the citizens here in Chelan County and statewide are as well, but we're still continuing to look for him and we won't give up.
What does the search look like now? Have you honed in on a more specific area?
No, we're continuing to search certain parts of the West Beat, which would be the Leavenworth, Lake Wenatchee area as well, and just making sure that we're doing our due diligence to follow back up in areas we have checked, following up on leads. But over the next couple of days, it'll be 4. You're going to see the National Park Service is going to be putting their swiftwater rescue team into the icicle, and we're going to check as far down as we can. The goal is to reach the Columbia River, but having been on the swiftwater rescue team myself in the past, I get that's a lofty goal, but we appreciate them being here. And then our swiftwater rescue team will also be going in here at the end of this month. So we're going to use as many resources as possible. We still have the U.S. Marshals on the ground that are following up on leads. And last week we had a search and rescue team that was going through the area of the crime scene. We had 25 members out there with U.S. Forest Service members of our agency doing a grid pattern search. And we've also deployed additional resources up into the enchantments again with the mountaineering team, and I guess into deploying cadaver dogs within the Ingalls Creek area.
Great. Just yesterday we heard about new evidence potentially leaking Travis's DNA through a bloody handprint to the crime scene. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, so we're trying to get ahead of the narrative. It wasn't a bloody handprint on the back of the truck. It was a fingerprint that, of course, did have blood on it, and we were able to collect samples of that thanks to Washington State Patrol's crime lab and our detectives. And we did get samples back that matched the DNA samples that we believe belonged to Travis Decker. And as a positive match, no other evidence was found on scene to show that there was others besides Peyton, Evelyn, Olivia, and of course Travis. So we're going to continue to focus our investigative efforts and our search efforts on Travis.
So it was a fingerprint, not a handprint. I hope he's found too. For the safety of others and himself, but for the safety of others, and so that he can be charged and be brought to justice for, yes, it is Town Chat Sheriff, yowza, and brought to justice. And I do appreciate this sheriff. I know we joke a lot in here because he's so easy on the eyes, but I do appreciate his professional manners. He does his due diligence. I love his professional mannerism. It's in stark contrast to what we have in the other case we're following, correct? So I'm going to keep playing this, and I'm going to take down the banner. I apologize for those of you who, Maddie and Steven Stern. That's what I wanted to tell you. Coming up this week, we have Kyron Horman, we have Maddie Soto, and Steven Stern, and then Summers Part 2, where I said I'd introduce to you Rose, Grandis, and Jose. I wanted to make sure I got that out to you. Okay. And so let's go ahead and continue listening to him.
Knowing what we know about his extensive training and the rest of his history as an Army Ranger, how does that impact the search effort?
Well, we feel pretty confident. We're coming in with a search and rescue team and the U.S. Marshal Service. It also has Special Forces members on their team, several of which passed the first time they went through. We like to point out that Travis did not post passing grades when he went through Ranger School, was not classified as Special Forces. But we do have Special Forces members, former, that are part of our team, part of our agency. So we feel confident that we have the right resources, individuals that are more experienced than him that are out there searching, and we'll continue to put the pressure on him, whether we find him alive or dead. We recognize there's a possibility of both.
So I'll point the question to you. Do you think Travis Decker is still alive?
I still feel there's a possibility, but certainly we recognize there's a potential that he could also be deceased. That's a large area that we could search if we get in there and he did, like, let's say, fall off a cliff, succumb to injuries. Recognize that is a tall task for us to cover that much area, but we're going to continue to search. But we also recognize until he's accounted for, he's still unaccounted for, and we're going to look for him.
Could this potentially be a years-long search, months? Is there any way to put a time frame on it?
We're not sure. So it depends on how our searches go over the next couple of days, but certainly we recognize that in talking with the U.S. Marshals, reviewing other searches that were similar to ours, that there is a potential that they go on for months, they go on for years. I've talked about it before with the Eric Rudolph case with the 96 Olympic bombing. That search went on for 5 years. We certainly do not want to see a 5-year search, but we get that we could be in for the long haul, and we're dedicated to making sure we see this thing through.
Dedication. Prayer Warrior said, Jay, I sent a video today regarding Decker. I believe it was yes, I saw that. I did see that. I have some of his information in here from the U.S. Marshal. A U.S. Marshal gave an interview and on KTVB, And he said that they're using helicopters, police cars. It's a rugged area, mountains and trees. And, there's campers who are deciding to remain there and camp. Hold on, Robin, I'm coming to it. I want to see that. And they also said that those campers, they want to stay in the area because those in Boise and in that Sawtooth National Forest, many of them are staying because they think he hasn't gotten that far. He's still in Washington. So that's very interesting. They said they will continue to track him. Did you just catch what Morrison said? He didn't get good grades in Ranger School, or he didn't get passing grades. So that was funny. That was a little dig, wasn't it? Let's see here. Someone named Chat. What does that mean? Someone named Chat was arrested in Hendersonville in June, if it has anything to do with summer. Okay. Robin, can you explain that, please? Okay. In Henderson, Nevada? Or Hendersonville, Tennessee? I'm confused. Robin, will you explain that? I'm sorry. I don't understand what you mean. So someone named Chad was arrested where? Can you mind giving us the city and the state? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know why Henderson, Nevada would have anything to do with summer. And if it was in Hendersonville in June, lead me to your thinking, my friend. I'm very interested in what you're thinking. Okay. Now, these children, their father was a very involved father. I know we see a lot of these cases where we see, neglect, or a parent who is abusive or something like that. Thank you, Robin. In June. So now what leads you to think that has to do with summer? Interesting. I'm going to look it up though. What makes you believe it has to do with summer rather than Sebastian is what I mean. Interesting. I'm writing it down though. Okay. Hi, Cece. I don't know. I'm just trying to what did I say I was going to do the video on for you guys later? I want to write that down too. And then we'll get back to our chat. You guys are got a lot of good stuff in there. The Barefoot Bandit. Wow, you guys are interested today. You got a lot of interesting stuff in there. No, that's okay, Robin. Just explain to us, what did you mean, Sebastian, hun? Or did you mean summer? And what two brothers do you all think the private detective is talking about in the Summer Wells case? And he said it is not Summer's brother. What two brothers do you think Jason Jensen, the private investigator out of Utah with a very good reputation, addressed? You and your brother know where she is. And no, I'm not talking about Summer's brothers, he said. Oh, Soto. Gotcha. That's okay, Robin. I'm curious. I'm going to look it up. But yes, I am going to do Maddie. Absolutely. I'm going to do Maddie. Maddie's this week. Kyron Horman's this week. Part 2 of Summers this week. Okay. As well with any on the cuff updates that come up, right? And of course, Sebastian. So let's finish this. And then I'm going to take you to the memorial service. Just the mother's speaking part. And Summer and Marlena. That's not her real name. It's two brothers. One is an RSO. Okay. Which two brothers do you think? Are you talking about TH or FH, Robin? Okay. Guys, I'm sorry I'm not able to understand some of them today. Which two brothers are you referring to, Robin? That's my question. Okay. Let's keep going, everyone. We are here for the Deckers, but also the chat is asking some questions about Summer and Sebastian. I'm going to go ahead and get to the memorial part of this so I can.
So with the Swiftwater.
Oh, did it take it off? I hope not. Oh, there we go. Okay, before I start the memorial, is there anything? I've got one right here. This is Robin's. I want to understand it, Robin, because I know you have good insight. You said, and Summer and Marlena, that's not her real name. It's two brothers. One is an RSO. Which two brothers? Are you talking about the H's? Oh, Chad and his brother. Okay, I'll look it up. I will look it up. Thank you. Anyone else can help clarify, I would love some clarification a little bit so it's easier for me to research. Hi, Crochet. Yes, I agree. The mom needs him found. We're going to listen to the mother right now. Those beautiful little girls, look at them. And this will be the memorial for Evelyn, Peyton, and Olivia. And this did occur, just so you know, it took place at Rocky Reach Park at 7 p.m. on June 20th. And attendees were encouraged to wear the girls' favorite colors, purple, pink, and green, and bring a candle or glow stick, according to Fox 13 Seattle. And the service was a public event and offered a space for the community to grieve and honor the girls' lives. And surround that mama, right? I hope they find Travis soon, too. I do. I don't want it to get dangerous. I don't want anything more to happen. We need justice for the girls. The mother needs to know he's somewhere where nothing more is going to happen to her or anyone. And we just need to make sure, in my opinion, that's just needs to happen, right? I don't want him to encounter anyone who recognizes him and says something, now that they're saying he's armed, it's a little terrifying, right? When something like that happens. So this is going to be live Como. This is from Como News. No, this is from King 5. Let me put that up. So this is sad. Get your tissues. I'm only showing the mother. Okay. Giving credit for fair use. This is King 5. And this is Evelyn, Olivia, and Peyton's mother, bidding them farewell. Oh, wait, I'm just taking it to the...
How happy she was to join when she joined the Shakespeareans.
Hold on, guys. I thought I had it lined up. I hate it when that happens. Okay, she's coming on after this. There she is. Okay. I just want to get to that.
Yeah, they're from my house, all right, but I guess we didn't need them because I didn't even know they were gone. Abby loved to give gifts. And Olivia was flipping through ChatGPT trying to figure out what offsides means. Once Peyton figured out what offsides was, she decided to play soccer and immediately discovered how the defense could actually use offsides to their advantage. Peyton loved to learn. Whitney also remembered that towards the end of May, Abby wanted to write 5 notes to her teacher. Each was with something that she loved about her teacher who was retiring. And every day, her teacher would open something in the last week of her job at the school. Whitney and Abby had laid in bed together, and she got them all written out, and Abby was very happy when she went to bed. And the next morning, and Abby really wasn't a morning person, so I've gathered. But Whitney went to wake up Abby after that wonderful evening they'd had, at 5:30 in the morning, and Evie just opened up her arms and wrapped her mom up in one of those amazing hugs that Evie could give. And Whitney said, you know, in all of my time with Evie, I don't think she's ever woken up and given me a hug like that, ever before. Whitney also said this year, Evie received numerous awards at school and had been taking gifts to a teacher. I'm not sure if it was related to that throughout the year. But after a conversation with Evie's teacher, Whitney learned that Evie had actually been giving away items from their house to the teacher. And Whitney laughed and she was like, well, yeah, they're from my house, all right, but I guess we didn't need them because I didn't even know they were gone. Evie loved to give gifts. And Olivia was happiest when she was attached to her mother. She just loved Whitney so much. When the other girls were upset, they would go and hide in their room. But when Olivia was upset, she would come and she would find her mom for comfort. Whitney was Olivia's safe space, and so that also became a comfort to Whitney. And since Olivia began attending school, Whitney said she could see Olivia becoming her own person, but for Whitney, Olivia was her brown bear, always there and always along for the ride. There are no words that can describe the weight of a mother's grief, but Whitney has a love that still finds its voice through heartbreak. And so Whitney will come and share now, not because it is easy, but because her love for Peyton, Evie, and Olivia is stronger than anything this world could ever take away from her. Would you greet Whitney?
This is the girl's mother, and please get your tissues. I am going to mute so you don't hear me sniffling. It's as many times as you watch it, it's never easier. I'm going to mute. This is Whitney. Does she still go by Decker? You're very welcome, Michelle. It's life-changing.
I just have a short something to share. Good evening, and thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. You all look beautiful, and I know that Evie would have loved to ooh and ah over all of your outfits. She would have been amazed by all the color out there and just thought you guys look fantastic. You know that Peyton would have sought each and every one of you out to try to find something to give you a compliment for. She did that for everyone, whether it was in the grocery store or at school or with me, always telling me, oh, you look so beautiful, Mom. I love your earrings, or whatever it was that she could find. I wanted to share a means of connection the girls and I had that I think allowed them to have such warm and open hearts to the community around them. After my divorce, there were a lot of feelings flowing through my house. As you could imagine, me going through a divorce with 3 small, tiny women. Some of the feelings were easier to talk about than others. Through the girls' time with Children's Home Society and some incredible therapists, we discovered the 3 feelings. At night, during their bedtime routine, I would ask them what 3 feelings they felt during that day. No feeling too big or too small, and what was going on when they felt those feelings. For Peyton, she always had more than 3, consistently eager to tell me about every minute of her day. She was always interrupting her sisters to make sure I knew every single one. For Ev, we would talk about her feelings one-on-one, right at bedtime, because she wasn't always ready to share them with her sisters. And for Olivia, we were still working on how to describe all of her feelings, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, one was always happy. Even when I tried to avoid telling my feelings, which is so easy to do as an adult, I feel like, the girls, one of them would always say, wait, Mom, you didn't tell me what yours were, and make sure that I too would tell them what my 3 feelings were. I'm so thankful for the time that I had with the girls and how their 3 feelings allowed us to connect when the world slowed down. And it really gave me an inside look into their day. I believe doing this with them allowed them to come into the world with open hearts and kindness. I hope that you are all able to do some version of the 3 feelings with your loved ones. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight and the outpouring of love that you have shown me and my family over the past few weeks. I truly hope that the legacy of the girls' lives lives in everyone's heart forever. They were incredible.
Yeah. So I don't know how she does what she's doing, but she's doing it, right? All 3 of her children taken. So, and like I started to say, this was a dad who was very involved. He had some mental health issues from after getting out of the Army. He was homeless. He couldn't get on his feet. They were waiting for VA benefits with the red tape. And he was always, we saw videos of him playing with the girls. And it's just really hard to see that mother and what she's going through. And, you know, I just want to show you the tattoos too. Bless her, poor Whitney. Also, the people who saw them in Idaho, the family described Travis's tattoos to a T. He was walking on a UTV, you know, sports utility vehicle path. And let's see what else they had to say about it. Sorry, that choked me up. Let's see what else it had to say about it. I'm sorry, that really choked me up. But that imagine that mother, what's so strong to get up there and talk like that. Let me tell you, they said that he had on in his ears black gauges. He did not make eye contact. He was ungroomed with his facial hair. And they said there's not a lot of foot traffic on those trails. It's the sport utility vehicles, but he was on foot. The terrain's very rugged, and the marshals, you know, they're all out there looking now. The marshals are running those helicopters, as you can see, if you watch any of the articles, over the mountains real low. And the people said that, the marshals are now offering a $20,000 reward. And he's believed to be last seen July 5th, if it was him, in a black mesh hat, cream shirt, black shorts, black Garmin style watch, black JanSport backpack. Boy, they got the details. And they even described his tats, they said, almost to a T. Long ponytail, overgrown beard and mustache, black gauges in his ears, 5'8" to 5'10". They really took note. That is some detail. And if you do see Travis Decker, please call 1-800-336-0102. They are asking the public right now not only to refrain from picking up hitchhikers in both areas, but also in the Idaho area, don't run drones because it's going to affect their searching right now. They are canvassing in the Idaho area, the Bear Creek and Sawtooth National Park areas, local campers. They're going to be canvassing local campers and residences to look for him. Oh, Anne. Oh, I'm so sorry, Anne. Anne said, this is so sad. On July 4th was 11 months ago that my son passed away. Oh, Anne, I'm so sorry to hear that. A mother should never have to bury her children, and so many do, right? I am so sorry. Hugs to you, my friend. And thank you for being here with us. And it is sad. They're all sad. So that's why please join me tomorrow for Unplugged. We're going to do some trivia time. Take a deep breath, okay? And I did say, I know I said Maddie's coming this week, but what did I say? I'd put a video out for you guys this evening. At the beginning, when I talked about putting a video out for you, something on Sebastian, but I don't recall what it was. So, but I will get a video out. Yeah, I can imagine, Robin, no words, but you did such a good job putting them together when you came on our show. Thank you. Yeah, that's moms out there. And I know there's many of you in the chat right now who have lost your children. My heart, our hearts are with you. Just so sad. So sad. Well, I hope that he's found. I don't want him to hurt anyone else. I'm not saying he would, but we don't want to take a chance. He's hurt his own. So, I worry, if he's cornered or anything. So if you see him, please call 911, call the number 1-800-336-0102, and do not approach him. Okay. They do now believe he is armed. And he could have possibly hitchhiked. So he is known for hitchhiking. As Sheriff Morrison said, he did not get the greatest grades in Ranger School. So they think they're going to catch him. Okay. They said that they'll catch him. My heart breaks too, Joanne Marie, for this mother's loss. Prayers and deepest condolences for her, the rest of the family, and many friends. May there be justice for these three little angels. What a beautiful message, Joanne Marie. Thank you. I will check my email. You mean right now, Town Chat? Or can I wait till after the show? So we are going to, there's his tattoos. And now he's got there are black gauges in his ears right here. Look, y'all. You can see it, right? In the left-hand picture. And they even described those. Interesting. Oh, Anne. I'm so. Was your son former military, Anne? Lisa said, my grandma lost her child at 56. And my mom, I can recall her saying I shouldn't outlive my child. Yeah. Got it. Yes, Town Chat. Thank you. That's very sad. I hope he's found soon too. But here's his tattoos. If you're in Idaho, if you're in Washington, vigilant. If you're traveling this summer, eyes, ears open, please. We covered earlier today the things to look for victims of teeing. Okay. And when you're traveling, it's pretty much, airports, hotels, motels, truck stations, bus stations, ferries on boats, borders, eyes open if you would. And someone in our chat earlier said at Myrtle Beach and hotel, there's a Myrtle Beach in a hotel, there's like lots of nephews who are staying with one uncle, red flag, right? So those kind of things are red flags. Okay. So our thoughts, our prayers go out. I hope they capture him soon. The U.S. Marshals are looking. Travis Decker, 32 years old, is a fugitive. He is wanted for the unaliving of his three daughters, Evelyn, Olivia, and Peyton. Unbelievable, right? And the search has extended. It is still going on in Washington, but has extended into Idaho, into the Sawtooth National Forest. Law enforcement is asking anyone in those areas not to pick up a hitchhiker in any way, shape, or form. He is known to hitchhike. Okay, he is known to hitchhike. And they will be canvassing. Residences and campers in the area. And now there is a $20,000 reward from the U.S. Marshals leading to the arrest of Travis Decker. Also in the areas, please do not run drones. It kind of affects their search. It does affect their search. They're asking that you refrain from drones as well. So they believe he was in the Bear Creek area of the Sawtooth National forest in Idaho. The tip came in July 5th with very specific identifying description. So thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we will bring Travis in. He needs to be held accountable for what he did. He needs to actually get some mental health help. And we need justice for the 3 girls and their mother and all their relatives. No, he wasn't in the military. Thank you, Ann. Oh, no. My son was neglected by a doctor. He had an abscess on his liver that was 3 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches. That's what. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ann. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Oh, that's heartbreaking. I'm so sorry for your loss. So sorry for your loss. But, oh, goodness, that just really hurt my heart. Could have been avoided, right? Heartbreaking. I'm so sorry to hear that. So much tragedy. So much tragedy. Thank you so much for being here. Hit the thumbs up on your way out so we get everyone in Idaho and Washington who doesn't know about the case knowing that he could be in either area. Why does he look white in Spanish? I'm not sure what you mean, Robin, my dear. Yes, everyone's going on vacation this time of the year. Keep your eyes open for Sebastian, for Summer, for Travis Decker, for anyone you think looks in distress, doesn't know where they're going, where they're staying, seems disoriented, uncomfortable, nervous, and call 911. And please, if you see a missing child, please don't leave the area and talk about it, tell about it later. Please call 911 from right where you're sighting it so they can dispatch, lock it down, get camera footage, and if it is the child, get them right there, not have to go back 4 days, 5 days. So call 911 immediately. Don't leave the area. Call 911 and get them dispatched there. Then you can call law enforcement with tips and take photos and stuff, but please call 911. Please. So appreciate all you all do. Let's hope that Travis is found soon, brought in before anyone else gets hurt, including himself, because he does need to be accountable for what he did to Whitney's children and his own. Keep keeping on, everyone. Subscribe, notify, like on your way out, and we will talk soon tomorrow. Thank you so much for everything. Justice for the Decker girls and Whitney.